Hey, you guys, Democrats are having a really bad week, and let's shed a tear or seven for them. We're going to be talking about how the Texas Democrats are currently in the finding out phase of their little stunt that they pulled, and how the gerrymandering issue is now front and center on everyone's minds. Thanks, Democrats. Then we're going to talk about how Democrats are at an all-time low in polling. It is delicious, and how their little Epstein stunt is not turning out the way they were hoping. And then finally, only Democrats and only media could have a problem with cleaning up Washington, D.C. So stick around for all that today on the Angela Box Show.
Hello, my name is Angela Box.
Okay, you guys, Texas Democrats. I'm not going to belabor this, but suffice it to say, they're having a bad week. They're still out of the state, and they are still trying to, force the issue that Texas Republicans cannot redraw the congressional map, even though, of course, they can, because guess what? Democrats have done it all over the country. Democrats, this is what's wild to me. The Democrats in Texas are currently in the finding out portion of our broadcast, and it is not going well for them. So a couple of things have happened over the last few days. First of all, Beto O'Rourke and George Soros have been exposed as the people basically funding this entire little stunt. And because now there's been a court order restricting that kind of money being sent to the Democrats in Texas, people like Gene Wu, who's a boil on the ass of Texas. Gene Wu's over there on CNN crying, saying, "You guys, we only have like a week left and we're going to have to come home. This is really bad. The money's running out." And because there's now been a court injunction on the money being sent to these people, yeah, they're going to have to take their dollars and come home. Sorry. Not only that, but the state of Texas is getting, or Governor Abbott, good Greg Abbott all day long. Governor Abbott is basically getting ready to replace all these people. They vacated their seats and they're getting ready to be replaced. Now, nothing would make me happier, especially if we're talking about replacing them with Republicans. Now, on that note, one Representative Ratchet, aka Jasmine Crockett, this heifer is really having a bad week because she's out there squawking that basically what Texas is doing is trying to, get rid of all black electeds. That is her quote. Sis, you may be on your way out, not just because your district is being redrawn and you're going to have to compete for your seat with another Democrat, but also there's been a report that Representative Ratchet is, carrying on in the tradition of Sheila Jackson Lee of being the most horrible boss in Congress. Like, she's got some people in her staff that are talking to the media, and they're like, this heifer is the absolute worst.
Exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Texas Congresswoman and liberal firebrand Jasmine Crockett. The Post spoke with several sources who paint a picture of a Crockett no one in their right or left mind would really want to work for. The Insider said they feel like Crockett cares more about being an influencer than working for her constituents. And as one put it, quote, is laying around her apartment, won't come into the office, and is really just indifferent to staff and will scream at them. Crockett reportedly rents a luxury vehicle every week, which is weird, and a staffer is tasked with basically being her personal chauffeur. She reportedly rides in the back like her employee is the hired help, which I guess they kind of are.
Worst. She's got like a screensaver of herself on her phone. She lays around in her apartment and she won't come to work unless she can be on TV. Like, she's terrible. Okay. And although I think she probably will continue to be in Congress because she's a loudmouth and this is all Democrats have at this point, like, it would be really funny if she lost her seat. Now, what's something else here? Okay. So yeah. So Beto O'Rourke, Robert Francis O'Rourke. You remember the guy, Robert Francis, who accosted many a bar top during his run for Senate and run for governor, whatever he ran for, president, who knows. Anyway, Robert Francis O'Rourke is an insufferable little dweeb, and he is the human embodiment of butthead, basically. And Butthead is getting ready to be in a lot of trouble because his wife's money, who is using to fund these Democrats, Ken Paxton's like, listen, there's a court injunction and you're going against that court injunction and continue to send money to these a-hole Democrats, you're going to be thrown in jail. So keep it up, Beto, keep it up. I mean, they're having the worst possible week. Now, the gerrymandering issue, because Democrats are such massive hypocrites, because they are just the worst, okay? This has now become an issue for the American people to look at. And what we've come to find out is that basically every single blue state is gerrymandered to the point where Republicans have no representation whatsoever. I mean, they're not doing that in Texas. Like, we're actually being fair in Texas. We're cutting the districts to accurately represent the number of Democrats and Republicans in the state. But in blue states, oh, no. Like Illinois and New York and California and Connecticut and Maryland and et cetera, they have rigged it so much that there are zero in some of these states, zero Republicans representing people in Congress, when in some states there's upwards of 45% of Republicans that are registered in the state. Like California has at least 40%, and they've got like 17% of the districts. Illinois, same. Like you guys, you lost, okay? And not only do the American people can't like hate you, we now see what massive hypocrites you are. But by all means, keep going. Okay, on that note, Democrats are flailing into oblivion, you guys. Their bad week continues. The latest polling out of Gallup, and Gallup is not a right-wing poll, okay? Gallup polling, it was like had a 5-alarm fire for Democrats this week, because their latest polling came out and said that the Democratic Party is sitting at currently a 34% approval rating. 34%. And in Congress, it's like 16%. So congressional Democrats are at 16%. Nationwide Democrats are at 34%. They are at all-time lows with Hispanic voters and male voters and, working class people. And basically, they have nothing to run on. Essentially, the Democrat Party has been taken over by blue-haired, psychopathic transgenders and the 1% of the 1%, the Laureen Jobs of the world, the Bill Gates of the world, the, people on the Epstein list, those people, they are all running the Democrat Party, and they don't think there's anything wrong. Like Elizabeth Warren, who is insufferable, great skin, but insufferable. She's out there supporting this Zohran Mamdani, this lunatic running for mayor of New York City. Like an actual communist. And she's like, yeah, this is exactly what Democrats need to be doing. Like, more of this. To which I say, yes, more of this. See, this is the thing about Democrats that I've learned over the years, is that they're very dumb and very arrogant. And I want to say dumb and arrogant is a dangerous combination. And as long as they're out of power, this is hilarity all around. When they're in power, they are incredibly dangerous. But being dumb and arrogant is a great look for them. And it continues to be the gift that keeps on giving for all of us who are living in normal land. And, Clown Town over there, aka the Democrat Party, doesn't seem to be learning any lessons. And they have literally nobody to lead their party except like Representative Ratchet and Pete Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren and AOC and take your pick. It is glorious. Now, speaking of something that the Democrats thought was just going to be their get out of jail free card, I guess, the Epstein stuff. The Epstein stuff is very interesting because Democrats do not want to release actual grand jury testimonies. Like, they're not for that at all. They're like, this is a distraction. It's like, hang on a minute. So, Trump saying that this crap that they're trying to release right now, that they're all screaming that they want to release, is a setup and another Russia collusion hoax 2.0. And it's been borne out because, listen, if any Democrat or any leftist that's like, oh, we need to release this information, but not that information, this information. It's like when Democrats gerrymander. It's like, well, it's okay if we do it, but you can't. Anyway, Democrats don't want to actually release grand jury testimony that would prove that Trump had nothing to do with this, as Ghislaine Maxwell has stated, like, he didn't do anything weird around me. Another Democrat judge has quashed the DOJ's request to release grand jury testimony. And Harry Hinton of CNN, let it be known. Harry Hinton, I feel like the canary in the coal mine over there at CNN. He's like one of the only sane people except for Scott Jennings. And he's not a Republican, but he is trying to warn the Democrats, like, danger, Will Robinson. Y'all are flaming out like in spectacular fashion. He said that the American people, like, this has not affected Trump whatsoever, like, at all. And the searches for Epstein have now gone down like 89%. So womp womp. Look, when the credible Epstein information is released, it is not going to be good news for Democrats. This is another FAFO moment, and this is another karma in action moment, or God exists moment, or however you want to spin it. But it is not going to be good for the Democrats. So look for that 34% to continue to plummet, and I am so here for it, you guys. Okay, finally, only Donald J. Trump could come in to the cesspool of Washington, D.C., the crime-ridden absolute dung heap that Washington, D.C. has become, run by Democrats. Every single Democrat-run city is a complete shithole, as anybody with two brain cells to rub together knows. Only Donald Trump could get every single media outlet, especially those DC-based media outlets, and every single Democrat to say, this is basically, it's racist for the National Guard to come in and try and clean up Washington, D.C. This is what Donald Trump's doing, man. He is targeting all those black-run cities. He's targeting all those Democrat black-run cities for, cleaning up, God forbid. It's like, you guys, if you weren't such disasters, if you weren't such jokes, if you were not all kings and queens of Clown Town, we would not have to come clean up your mess. But here's what's going to be happening. The National Guard is going to come in, clean up all the homelessness, clean up all the crime, put criminals in jail, stop the carjacking, stop the rampant shoplifting, whatever hell's going on in Washington, D.C., and make it a place where families can go to again to see the nation's capital. And look for this in a Democrat-run city near you, because once this is successful, and it will be successful. I mean, look, guys, Trump basically closed the border in 6 months. There's nobody crossing the border anymore. Like, that's over. When Biden and Mayorkas like, we don't know, man. We can't stop it. They just want to keep coming. We can't close the border. Nothing we can do. Look for this exact same scenario to play out when Donald Trump cleans up Washington, D.C. They're going to have people around the country, normal people living in blue cities that have been infested by Democrat-run politicians for these many decades, to say, please, Donald Trump, will you please send the National Guard in to Chicago or New York City or Los Angeles or Portland or Seattle, or take your pick. That's what's going to be happening, you guys. It is going to be such a marked difference that not even these total, absolute retards that populate the Democrat Party are going to be able to deny that this has actually been successful. So I am slow clapping this all day long, because all the Democrats now are basically on board for more criminality. Again, 34%. I don't think that's as low as the Democrats are going to go, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's going to get much worse for them, and I cannot wait. And on a final note, J.D. Vance, our wonderful vice president, did an interview the other day, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, listen, indictments are coming. We're not going to tell you who's being looked at. We're not going to let you know who's being indicted or what they're going to be indicted for, but I assure you they're coming. And weirdly enough, there was a cyber attack on our federal court system just the other day. I wonder if, some of those bad actors that like to switch votes on the Baltimore machines, if they were in there going, let's find out who they're looking at. Is it me? Is it me? Yes, it's you. It's all of you. So get the popcorn, everybody, because this show is just getting started and I cannot effing wait. All right, that's where I'm going to leave today's video. Please let me know what you think down below. Like, subscribe, do all the things. And I'll see you in the next video. That will be done. Bye.